Okay, so I finished No Longer Human by Summer Daisy. Um, it was a very unique and interesting read. Surprisingly, like for me, like I heard like a lot of people like once they read it, they get like really like um they like have a epiphany moment. And let me make it. It's not to say that the book wasn't powerful by any means, but for me, um, it just felt like relatable, especially to like a younger version of myself where I was really struggling. I'd like, especially when I was like 16 to 18, I'd have like a lot of the same like queries and questions like, oh, what does it mean to be human? Um, is everyone just faking? Uh, I was very like um, into the idea of like all of these things that we do as humans are all made up. It's all like relative. It's all arbitrary. It's all subjective. And I remember at the time I was also very depressed, and I was thinking, where's the point of like life, and where's purpose, and I had the thing of like life is meaningless. And anyway, it was really interesting, and uh, a bigger takeaway to No Longer Human. I think it's despite the book being like almost like 100 years old now, um, 80 years, roughly. Um, it's still very relevant today. And it was actually like, and that's another thing that I thought like when I was reading, it's like, wow, this is like really relatable. Because I don't know, I guess, I mean, it's kind of stupid, right? But I guess it's like, I kind of assumed like, oh, people back then, like post war period, were like very different. But they weren't really like when Yozo, the main character of No Longer Human, was talking about his life, and it was very like um obviously it was different, but like it was very like the structure was similar. Like, oh, he had a school life, then went to college, then had drinks, and then had went to a society, flirted with a bunch of women and stuff. And I mean, maybe that's a bit more like um not as prevalent now because of like the age of social media and people becoming more recluse. But onto that topic, I think the whole like theme of No Longer Human is about depersonalization, feeling isolated, feeling like an outsider, feeling like you constantly have to mask. Like Yozo, his whole thing is like, oh, he has to play the count clown, he has to make people laugh, but he himself like truly like just fears everyone. And I think especially in the day of social media, there's like it's crazy, right? Because um the book is about how it's like post-war World War II Japan, especially after the nuclear bombs, and how everyone felt like um, this like it was like a cultural like thing of like, oh, like what does it mean to be me? What does it mean to be an artist? What does it mean to do, like, why do I do the things that we do? I think this is very prevalent even now. I'm not saying it's a post-war period. I mean, granted, there's still like fucked up shit going around in the world, especially like in Palestine and whatnot. But um, it's interesting because in the age of social media, we're all putting on a mask. We're all trying to like fit a stake. We're all trying like um, we all see creators like and we see their lifestyle. And we try to emulate it, even though it's all fake, and we all know it's fake. We all know it's exaggerated, but we still try to do it. And people even purposefully dumb themselves down. They purposefully become less human. It's crazy, right? Like it's like authenticity it's become a dying thing. Like even like streamers, like clip farming, like streamers will purposefully do outlandish stuff. Even though streamers like their whole thing is like they stream constantly, so they have to be real, right? They purposely do outlandish stuff, and it's called clip farming. And it's really interesting, like how we've all just put on this like large mask. And this is not to say that oh like you can never be an entertainer, but I think there is something to say that when you're constantly doing that and everyone's doing that, everyone's supposed to highlight it and stuff. And to get to the point, I think the idea of no longer human is very very prevalent in this day and age. And I know this is a way longer of a video, but um, I think it's even interesting, like the epilogue. Like at first, I was really confused what the epilogue was. Spoilers, but the epilogue starts with, "Oh, like I never met the madman who wrote this book, Yozo, the main character," um, and it kind of reflects how, just like in No Longer Human, like an outsider doesn't get it. Like they tend to put mental health and all these things into like surface level labels, like you they say madman, mental crazy person, and you'd think it's a lot more changed. And while the language has become better and we do understand more, it's still very similar. Like OCD, for example, like a lot of people think OCD is just you know uh, thinking orderly, when in reality it's having really violent, intrusive thoughts and thoughts of like um, disturbing thoughts of like pedophilia and other stuff. But no one talks about that, or depression. Like people like glamify it as like, oh, like depression is just, oh, you feel sad and you like depressive music, but no one talks about how you don't care of your hygiene and you might not do, like you're debilitated and you feel like empty inside. And then same with anxiety, same with all these other disorders. And there's such, like we talk about it, we talk about, oh, like let's talk about this topic, but we don't actually hold space for these illnesses, you know. And I don't know, I know this video is like long and I'm kind of dragging it, but I don't know, I find this topic really interesting. I find No Longer Human was very like interesting. I think it's very, very real, very, very like relevant in today's society. And yeah, what are your thoughts?